Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reviews That Don't Matter with Jessica Hitt. My name is Jessica Hitt, and on today's episode, if you've been following me, you know on Wednesday I talked about Netflix's Marvel's Daredevil. Today we're talking Jessica Jones because you know what? Today is the day that Defenders came out. I've already talked about Iron Fist. I talked about Daredevil. I'm talking about Jessica Jones. I haven't seen Luke Cage. I'm sorry, not yet. I'll get on it. I'll watch it after Defenders. Anyway, I'll be doing Defenders next week. But today is all about Jessica Jones and what I thought about it, where I think it could go in the second season. Let's just get to it. So I watched Jessica Jones basically when it came out, maybe like a couple weeks after it came out. The hype was real. Everybody was loving it. And you know what? I pretty much like anybody with my name, so I was down. And also, I've always been a fan of Kristen Ritter. She was always, for a while there, she was kind of in the Judy Greer territory of always being like the best friend or kind of being that like random actress that you recognize but you never knew the name of. And then she did Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. I believe that was the name of it. Which was actually a very underrated show. Should not have been canceled. I think it was a better comedy than most comedies that have been around for a very long time now. Big Bang Theory. Anyway, I was kind of sad to see that go, but we get her as Jessica Jones. And as Jessica Jones, I think she's a great character. I like this sort of alcoholism, snarky detectiveness that also has this really interesting case of PTSD with what happened with Kilgrave and her that I thought unfolded really nicely throughout the series. I thought the character work was fantastic. I also remember kind of gobbling up the series, and it didn't really feel like 13 episodes. I think once I got to episode 8 the first time I watched it, I was like, how many more do I have to go? Because I did not realize back then, because this was the first of the Marvel Netflix series that I had watched was Jessica Jones season 1. It took me a long time to watch Daredevil, and I watched Iron Fist when it came out. So this was the first like exposure I got. I didn't realize there were 13 episodes. So when I got to episode 8, I was like, this should be ending soon. And then went to episode 11, and then 12. I'm like, this has got to be ending soon. And finally, it was 13. I was like, thank God. Even though I still really enjoyed it the first time that I watched it. I could definitely sense some flaws to it, some filler episodes, drawn out things. Some of the characters did not work for me. I love Jessica Jones. I absolutely love her. I liked Malcolm, who played the junkie next door neighbor that eventually becomes kind of like partner in crime with her. I really enjoyed him. I think that David Tennant's Kilgrave was fantastic. I love David Tennant in anything. If you haven't seen Broadchurch, please watch it. It is one of the best shows to come out of the BBC. It's up there with Sherlock. I love Broadchurch so much. It's on Netflix. If you guys can find it, it's on Netflix. But I really, really liked him as Kilgrave because he was just this villain who just like, he did not understand why he was a villain. Like, he saw himself as just like, yeah, I'm doing all this stuff because it needs to be done. Like, this really great, obviously, this is all going to be spoiler. So if you haven't seen Jessica Jones, turn it off. Or, you know, I mean, really, you haven't seen Jessica Jones yet. Like, if you're watching this video, you probably should. There was that scene where Jessica kind of goes to live with him in her old house. And then she's like, kind of trying to give him a taste of the hero life by like going to this house where the dad is like holding up the mom and a kid. And in his mind, the justice is once he convinces them, because, you know, obviously it's the mind control thing, once he convinces them to be able to go, he's like, well, shoot yourself, basically. And that's his idea of justice, where it wouldn't be like a normal person's way. It'd be like, go turn yourself in. That's justice. I liked that. He didn't understand that whatsoever, and he was never going to understand that, which was a great realization for Jessica Jones, trying to figure out whether she was still going to try to kill him or try to turn him in somehow or try to use his powers for good. I really enjoyed a lot of these different themes that was explored in Jessica Jones. I thought Trish Walker was a pretty decent character. I think it could have been ironed out a little bit more. I am interested to see how they turn her into Hellcat, because she wasn't very impressive necessarily in the first season, considering that she got a lot of training all the time. Like, I feel like she should be at least a little bit better of a fighter, but you know what, she can learn. There's going to be some in between time between season 1 and 2, obviously, so hopefully she gets a little bit better, and hopefully she suits up as Hellcat. That would be interesting. I did not like Simpson as a character whatsoever. I didn't like him the first time I watched it. I obviously rewatched this to do this review. I thought he was whiny. I thought that he was just like a difficult character to relate to like, to hate also in a way. Like, he was just there, and he was just an annoyance, you know? Like, every time Jessica was trying to do something, he would just screw it up. That's what I thought. And then when he got, like, kind of explosives on him, I was like, good, he's gonna die. But no, they turned him into, like, a super soldier type thing. That was also annoying. I don't like what they did with Simpson. I don't like the whole thing. I think that Trish can do a lot better than Simpson, in my opinion. I liked the introduction of Jerry Hogarth and that whole like lawyer type thing going on there that we see also a little bit in Iron Fist. I really enjoyed that. At times I thought I was a little like confused as to why we were spending so much time on that, but I think Jerry Hogarth is going to be a pretty big player in all of the series, especially now that obviously she's connected to Danny Rand's Iron Fist, and also she just hired Foggy from Daredevil. And I don't really know what's going on with Luke Cage and if she's connected by that. I don't know if she's like the second Rosario Dawson type character with Claire Temple. Also, I felt like this was probably the least shoehorned way to put Claire Temple into the series, whereas it felt, maybe Daredevil season 1 didn't feel shoehorned necessarily, like it kind of came out organic, but then like season 2 it was just like, Iron Fist didn't feel organic whatsoever. It was definitely shoehorned in. With Luke Cage, I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment on that. But I felt like it felt pretty decently organic. I mean, as much as it could for being the sort of like through character of all of these series. And of course we get our introduction into Luke Cage, and I don't know, I didn't really like what they did with the whole Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, and obviously I know in the comics they're married, they're like together, but it was just odd, especially knowing that Jessica Jones killed Reva, who was his wife, and it just felt wrong. And you knew from the get-go that Jessica felt so bad about it, and it's like, why would you do that? And I know that she has issues, like a lot of issues, and she's an alcoholic, and she's got PTSD that she's kind of going through, and trust issues, and it's a whole, she runs the gamut and issues, basically. That, you know, I mean, things are going to happen, but that was a little rough. I do really like that sort of showdown that they had together. That was really great because their powers are very similar, slightly different because Jessica can get hurt, she can get shot, all of that. Luke Cage cannot. He's bulletproof and super strong, but he can't like jump or fly or whatever the heck she does. And there are a couple scenes in Jessica Jones that I just think are fantastic. I would name the the precinct scene where with all the cops and Kilgrave coming in there and like they're all holding guns to each other's heads and stuff like that. That I think is a fantastic scene. And also any of the stuff with Jessica Jones and Kilgrave in her childhood home I find fantastic. And then also the end scene when she kills Kilgrave. I think that is also just like super fascinating to watch. So overall, leaving this series as the first series in the Netflix Marvel team-up venture thing, I was pretty happy with it. I really enjoyed it. I love the character of Jessica Jones. I think she's just a good character. That was very anticlimactic the way I said that. Anyway, I was really high on the series as a whole. Many of my friends were as well. But I tried to rewatch it, and I only got to about episode 7 or 8, and I was so bored. I still really enjoyed the characters, but I just felt the story lagged a lot more than I remembered. Maybe because I know the plot points now, and I'm someone who loves to rewatch things, and I've read the Harry Potter books like more times than I could count. I like kind of being able to discover things that I missed the first time. But I had a really tough go at trying to watch this. It wasn't keeping my attention very well. I found flaws in the characters that I really liked. Flaws that, like, not good flaws that make you, like, care more about the character. Flaws that were just like, geez, it just didn't work necessarily. I still love Jessica Jones. I still love her as a character. I like a lot of the characters in it, but the season 1 was very drawn out and just like not fun. And you know what? I like a little bit of fun for my superhero stuff. I do, you know. I found fun in Daredevil season 2. Like, even though it was like dark and gritty and like kind of serious at times, there was still a lot of fun to it, I felt like. Iron Fist, as bad as it was kind of bad fun, you know? Like, it was kind of watching like a train wreck. Like, it was just like you couldn't tear your eyes off of it at all. And even like the really dark and gritty like superhero movies that we've gotten have been fun. I mean, Batman vs. Superman, I think, had some really fun moments in it. Even The Dark Knight had some fun moments, even though it's a completely, like, it's very serious and it's gritty and dark. Obviously, most of the Marvel films have a lot of fun. Even the, like, serious Marvel films, like Winter Soldier, has a lot of fun in it. So I like that. I need to crack a smile here and there. And yet, I don't do it very much, even with Jessica Jones' like sarcasm, and I said sarcasm really, really weird. With her witty remarks and all of that, she just kind of felt a little bit forced at times. And I think that's more the dialogue than the acting. I think that Chris Ritter has the character down pat. I think the writing definitely felt a little forced at times. And also, just like, it was just so drawn out the way it was, you know? And I kind of like the fact that you didn't get to see Kilgrave right away. But by doing that, it just stretched it out more. And then, you know, with their attempt of trying to kidnap him the first time didn't work out, and starting from scratch, and then this whole thing with Jessica just wanting to run away, and it was just like kind of retreading a lot of the same plot points over and over again. I think that she's going to work very well in a team setting, because even though I don't think that she wants to be in a team setting, I think that her snarkiness and detective work and all of that is going to like lend really well to the group of people that we have. We obviously have Daredevil, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and her. All very different personalities that I actually cannot wait to see mix. And I've heard pretty good things, actually, about the first 4 episodes. And people who didn't necessarily like Jessica Jones, the series, but are really enjoying her in The Defenders. So I am very excited to see what that does. I think that I have a lot of hope in The Defenders, and I think it's going to be very good. I know I had a lot of hope in Iron Fist as well, but, you know, you just can't give up hope. It's the one thing we got going in this world right now. And, you know, I'll just, you know, I'll keep on to it, and I'll hope that, even if this sucks, I'll hope that season 2 of all Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist will do better. I mean, we'll see. I doubt it. But, hey, I don't know. Maybe I'll like Luke Cage a lot. Okay, everybody, that is my review of Jessica Jones Season 1. I hope you guys like it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below, what were your thoughts on Jessica Jones as a series, and how does it hold up to the other series with Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Daredevil. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I make videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Every Monday, we are talking Game of Thrones. Wednesdays and Fridays are just reviews that don't matter, because usually they're irrelevant or late, or they don't ever show up. Also, on Saturday, I'm putting out an extra video. It's going to be kind of a preview for the penultimate episode of Game of Thrones. We're talking people who could die. We're talking about other things, mostly people who could die in these last 2 episodes, where I think we're going. As well as maybe some things that I've missed in the last couple of reviews that just have slipped my mind because they haven't been the most interesting. Like on Monday, I didn't even touch upon the fact that Tyrion and Jaime met for the first time in years. So I missed that one. Anyway, please subscribe, likes, comment, all of that stuff if you want to. If you don't, that's totally fine. I'll be here if you ever want to come back and do all of that stuff. So I'll just see you guys on Monday. Bye.